falling apart.
Okay, here we are.
We are live. Good afternoon, everybody. There we are. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this edition of ACC Live. My name is Renee Esparaza, Director of Transfer Resources at Austin Community College, and I'm so excited to be back for another Transfer Tuesday. Today we have a really very special guest with us, Lauren Ibarra, who is Texas State University's new Director of Transfer Initiatives. Lauren, it's such a pleasure to be able to talk with you today during this, and thank you so much for joining our live. But really, what we want to talk about today is your new role at ACC or at Texas State and the partnership between ACC and Texas State.
Well, thank you, Renee. It's great to be here with you and your viewers today.
I am so glad, again, that you decided to join us. But before we get started, do you want to share a little bit about yourself for the viewers?
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Lauren Ibarra. Like Renee said, I'm Director of Transfer Initiatives here at Texas State for our new Transfer Center. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but I have lived in this area for several years. I moved to the Central Texas area to do my undergraduate degree and earn my bachelor's. I've been with Texas State since 2017. I've worked with students all across Texas, incoming high school and incoming transfer students. More recently, I was regional manager for Austin area admissions. So some of you may have worked with me as an ACC admissions counselor. And now I am Director of Transfer Initiatives in this new transfer center. So I'm just really excited to be here and be able to work with students. I have a real passion for working with community college students, and Austin Community Colleges has been such a great partner. I've known Renee for a while now, and it's been really great to be able to connect with your students. It's been a funky couple of years with COVID and all of that, but I'm excited that we're able to get back to in-person interactions and really connect with students.
Lauren, I have to say I was really excited when I heard you got this role. Number one, that it's a brand new role at Texas State, but also that you got it because I have witnessed how many students you've helped transfer from ACC to Texas State. But when our ACC Live staff came to me and said, hey, we'd love to do a Transfer Tuesday with one of your partner institutions, right? The first school I thought of was Texas State. ACC sends more transfer students to Texas State than any other institution. We've worked together for many years on partnership alignment and just making sure that students know, we're both in this together to help them get their bachelor's. And one of the things that comes up a lot is, students really don't know what to do. So what recommendations do you have for students who are interested in transferring to Texas State to ensure that they stay on the right track?
So firstly, I think that starts at home. Definitely reach out to the Austin Community College Career and Transfer Center and get connected with the folks over there. That way you can get a really in-depth understanding on the ACC side of what you need to be doing and how you can be transfer planning from there. I also recommend getting connected with Texas State transfer staff. So we have a transfer navigator on staff. Actually, we have a couple. If you are wanting to get a general overview of the transfer process or do some transfer planning, Texas State also has admissions counselors. There's folks in office. If you come to the undergraduate admissions annex, you can meet with them as a walk-in if you'd like. You can also make appointments and talk about your admissions decision and get any questions answered from them. But I do think the big part of planning to transfer is the planning portion. Raise your hand, let everyone know, hey, I'm thinking Texas State, or Texas State is one of my options for where I'm going to go next. That way that you can ensure you're taking coursework that's actually transferable for your degree plan, and that way you can time your application right. We want to make sure that you are transferring as much coursework as you can and also on track to graduate with your bachelor's within the time frame that you're wanting to graduate from Texas State.
One of the things
visit
campus, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second too. One of the things you mentioned is connecting with ACC or with the Texas State Navigators, and I just want to do a little shout out. There's actually a Texas State Navigator in the office right next to me today at our transfer center taking appointments, and we've sent that information out to students in our student affairs newsletter, the Riverbat Echo. So check your email if you're interested in meeting with someone from Texas State on the ACC campus. Lauren, another thing that comes up a lot, one of the concerns our students have are about finances. They're hearing college is expensive. They're hearing horror stories about student loan debt. And they really worry about how they're going to pay for living in Central Texas and attending college. So, what financial resources are available for students who are planning to transfer to Texas State?
So, of course, first and foremost, make sure that you apply using the free application for federal student aid or the FAFSA or the TASFA if that's appropriate for you. Make sure that you are filling that out as soon as possible. I believe it opens up in October for the FAFSA, and you can submit that online. My understanding is it's pretty straightforward, so you want to get that done. The FAFSA is going to be your gateway to getting financial aid here at Texas State and at the federal level as well. Something else that's really important is applying by the priority date to the university. The priority date is February 15th for the next fall semester. So for fall 2023, your priority date is February 15th, 2023. And the reason that's the priority date is so that you have enough time to get a net ID and to apply to scholarships via our Bobcat online scholarship system. And there are all sorts of different scholarships that you can apply for. You can do the transfer general scholarship application. So I definitely recommend that you apply with enough time to be able to fill out that scholarship application to get university scholarships. We also have a new guaranteed scholarship. So assured scholarships is what they're called. To qualify for a transferred assured scholarship, by the time that you are applying to the university, you want to have 30 hours with at least a 3.25 minimum GPA. The important distinction there is it does need to be a 3.25 transferable GPA. So to get a better understanding of what your transfer GPA is, I definitely recommend submitting your official transcripts to Texas State. That way you can kind of see where you're at. There's different tiers of scholarships that are going to be awarded for students in that population. So depending on what your GPA is will determine what your assured scholarship is. But it's definitely a really great opportunity to get some assured scholarships from Texas State that you can stack on top of those competitive scholarships for which you would apply. There's also something else called Bobcat Gold at Texas State. So you can log on to Bobcat Gold and they have a scholarship finder. So once you apply to Texas State, get a net ID, get onto that Bobcat Gold website. You may even be able to go on there without a net ID. And it'll help you to locate outside scholarships. And I'm sure that the transfer office as well, ACC probably has resources too, where you can find outside scholarships that can apply towards your tuition here at Texas State in the future. That's what I would recommend.
Lauren, I will tell you that when Texas State announced the assured transfer scholarships and we sent it out amongst our advising staff and all of our academic guidance, everybody was so excited. We are really, really thankful and grateful that Texas State decided to institute guaranteed scholarships for our students. It's going to make a big difference.
We were excited too.
I also want to point out one thing, Lauren, I just have to repeat this, the importance of applying by the priority deadline. If there's anyone on here, I'm going to be real serious. Don't wait till the last minute. If there is a priority deadline for whatever institution that you are applying to, apply by then, because that's going to provide extra opportunities for financial aid, support, and scholarships.
The other thing it'll provide is time for you to register for courses.
You know that time to go to orientation.
Yes.
Meet with your advisor. The classes aren't full. You can figure out housing. So earlier is better.
The earlier the better. Absolutely.
So once students have navigated the process, they've met their admissions requirements, they have submitted their application, have been accepted, and start at Texas State. What are some of the things that they should do to make sure that they're successful?
Check your email. Check your student email. All of your important announcements are going there. You're going to get prompted to do several things there to make sure that you have everything in on time that you need to as far as your next steps go. So that's also where you're going to get notifications about financial aid awards and those kinds of things. So please check your email. You're going to be invited to join a transfer resources canvas once you're at Texas State. There's one this fall for the incoming fall 2022 cohort that's going to have all the different resources that are available to you as a transfer student and just as generally as a student of Texas State to navigate. We have transfer center workshops. We're doing them for the very first time this fall. Students last week had the opportunity to build their transfer toolkit, familiarize themselves with the different resources that will help with their adjustment to Texas State. One of the big things we want for students is to have a seamless transfer experience, not only in terms of, course equivalencies, et cetera, but also being handed off warmly from ACC to Texas State, feeling that support on both sides. So we have these transfer workshops going on. This week, our students are going to come together to learn about the common experience, which is systems thinking, and join the transfer book club. And we're going to have presenters from across campus throughout the whole semester. There's a lot of opportunities to be involved on campus. I think as transfer students, especially, it is so important that you seek out these student involvement opportunities. Obviously, most of you are not going to live on campus, so you're going to have off-campus living, right, resources, but student organizations that you can get involved in, anything that you're interested in. If you're wanting to be a doctor, you could be in Future Doctors of America. If you're wanting to get involved in Greek life, we do have some of that. If you're wanting to do intramural sports, say you were an athlete all your life and you're interested in still participating in sports clubs, we have those too. There's all sorts of opportunities to get involved on campus, depending on what your passions are, what your interests are, where you want to volunteer, all sorts of different kinds of organizations that we have. I think we have over 350. This is how you're going to connect to campus. This is how you're going to make your friends. And I think that that is really key to succeeding at Texas State. Some other things that we have for you are academic supports. We have FutureCATS to help students with their math coursework. We have the Writing Center where students can get help with writing papers. We also have Slack, which is a Student Learning Assistance Center. So it's exactly what it doesn't sound like. But Slack will help you to not slack off. They will help you to really understand the course material. They have all sorts of different benefits there. So that's a way we're helping you academically at the university. And we also have student support services. We have a dean of students that is there to provide support to students who are having emergency situations. We're going to have the counseling center to help students in group settings or individual settings. We have a health center on campus. We have campus rec. We have all sorts of different resources. And it is so important that when you get to Texas State, you go beyond the classroom and get involved where you can and reap the full rewards of being a Texas State student.
Lauren, I had two follow-up questions from what you just said. So one of the things you said was a transfer student Canvas page.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to clarify that Canvas is similar to Blackboard, which is what ACC uses. Is that correct?
It is. Canvas is a learning management system. It's used by most of the courses here at Texas State. You will get an invitation in your email. And then so you can register.
Set up and check.
So check your email. Once you apply to Texas State, get that net ID activated, start checking your student account. That is where everything's going to be going.
That's awesome. And then the second comment I had is I heard through the grapevine that the event you all had for the Building Your Transfer Toolkit was a fabulous event and that you had 100% attendance for everybody that RSVP'd actually showed up. So that was really exciting. I'm really excited that you all are taking more of
building out new initiatives.
Yeah, and just like more of a let's get all these transfer students together and make sure that they are prepared. It's really exciting for me, especially since I know a lot of them are river bats.
Yes, it's all about connecting with other students and connecting to campus and getting the assistance that you need. Yeah.
Question for you that I think might be relevant for students who are thinking of going to Texas State. What is your favorite tradition at Texas State? What is something really fun that our students should be looking forward to once they become a Bobcat?
So my favorite tradition by far is going to be the river jump. I think that that is something amazing that our students get to do. And I think it's very unique to Texas State. When you graduate from Texas State, you have the opportunity to go down to Sewell Park and jump into the San Marcos River with all of your fellow Bobcats. And I think that that is a very, very cool tradition that we do. Another really cool tradition that we do, and I'm just going to go for two because,
go keep going.
There is a statue of LBJ on campus. President Lyndon B. Johnson. Did you know that Texas State is the only Texas university to have graduated a United States president? Students will go up to him and shake his hand for good luck for tests and stuff. So I think that's a really cool tradition too that's unique to Texas State.
Pre-COVID, we did a tour of Texas State and we took students, and it was right before our finals. and the tour guide told us about the tradition of getting good luck from LBJ. So all our students lined up. They're like, we hope this luck goes back with us to ACC.
That's
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
and while I talk about tours, I do want to say we are attempting to plan another university tour to Texas State this fall. So ACC students, if you're interested in visiting campus, keep an eye on the ACC transfer website for news about a tour that we will take you on to their campus.
Yeah. And there's also going to be transfer information sessions and academic visit days hosted by Texas State as well. So I encourage you to visit our Welcome Center website. They have all those visits listed there if you're interested in attending a tour.
Lauren, here's a couple quick questions. So one thing we kind of breezed past is what does a student need to have or do in order to be accepted at Texas State?
So admission standards are contingent on your transferable course hours and your transfer GPA. And so the first thing I would recommend to students before they apply to Texas State is reviewing the admissions requirements that are on the admissions website. I believe it's 0 to 15 hours. You have to meet freshman admission standards and have at least a 2.0 GPA. With 16 to 29 hours, it's at least a 2.5 GPA for admission to the university, and with 30 or more, it's 2.25. Outside of those parameters, students do undergo a holistic review to make an admission decision. I highly recommend, if you have any questions about what your transfer GPA could be or what your transferable hours are, to have your official transcript sent from ACC to Texas State and to reach out to an admissions counselor from the university to get a really good understanding of where your application is at. And the likelihood of being admitted to the university and really how to plan on when to transfer, because that's usually what that conversation leads to. I like to say the answer is never no. It's just not now. What we can talk about is how can we get you to where you need to be so you can be at Texas State.
And one good thing about that is transcripts are free from ACC. So they're easy to request and they are of no cost to our students.
That's awesome.
Another thing students always ask us is, when is the right time to transfer? Do you have an answer for that?
It depends on your major. So what I would do if you are a student that's in their first semester at ACC or even second semester or so on, I would take a look at the transfer planning guides to get a really good understanding of what you can complete at ACC prior to transferring to Texas State. And this is actually a really good opportunity for you to get in touch with the transfer navigator as well, to get an overview of this is what the entire transfer process looks like. This is where you're at now, and let's see when you can apply to Texas State.
I think that's great advice. And what I will also add to that is, for a lot of our students, it just depends on where you are personally. Your transfer timeline might not look like your friends or your sisters or your mom's. And so meet with ACC's transfer staff, the Texas State navigators, the admissions counselors to find the right timeline that works for you. So Lauren, I've talked to you long enough for this ACC Live. I think you've provided a wonderful overview of all of the resources that are available at Texas State that support transfer students. You've provided information that's going to be helpful for our staff, our faculty, and our students as they are preparing and researching universities to transfer to. And so thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. If anyone has any follow-up questions, definitely reach out, transfercenter@txstate.edu.
So thank you everyone for joining us today for this edition of ACC Live's Transfer Tuesday. I do want to just put in a little plug. Next week, ACC will be hosting Transfer Week. So it's starting on Monday, September 12th. And it runs through Friday, September 16th. We are going to have events in person, online. We're even having breakfast a few days in the Career and Transfer Center. And the Texas State Navigators will be here participating and taking students appointments during the week. But there's also a lot of other universities. We want our students to research and find the best fit for them. And I think, and I hope, and I know that Texas State is a really great fit for many of our students. So once again, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you.